and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. Talks on the forthcoming Polish government reshuffle and the new coalition agreement between the leaders of the United Right are continuing at the Warsaw headquarters of the Law and Justice Party. Today, in an interview for Polskie Radio 24, the head of the Law and Justice Executive Committee, Krzysztof Sobolewski, said that everything indicates that the talks will end in the near future. I can confirm media speculation that the talks on the new shape of the Polish government are continuing. The talks concern its new structural shape and the change in personnel. Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki will be the one to inform the public about the results. I can only confirm that these talks are still continuing. I feel very optimistic about it. In my opinion, the talks will end in the near future and they will achieve positive results. The International Defence Industry Exhibition has ended in Kielce. As a result of the coronavirus epidemic, this, the 28th edition of the exhibition for arms manufacturers, was different from previous ones. From Kielce, Aleksander Wierzewski has this report.
Polish military conducts several programs that are aimed to increase capability and battlefield readiness of Polish army. Among those systems, the most expensive one considers the anti-aircraft defense. It's called Wisła or Vistula. The another, with very similar range but on lower spectrum, is Narew. Right now here we can see two tanks, this T-72. This tank was built in 1986 and at the time was obviously cutting edge, but after almost 40 years is not capable of participating in the battle. But this particular tank was modernized to the current standards. It has new communication, it has new targeting system, and it is able to receive battlefield management system that will turn it into a very dangerous weapon. The tank behind me is a Leopard 2 PL. It's a tank that was modernized according to the Polish specification agreed in 2017, and this is one of the first such machines that are about to enter the Polish army. There are hundreds of big and small military programs. All of them show determination of Polish government to provide security and safety for Polish citizens. And as the Romans said it, si vis pacem para bellum. If you want a peace, prepare to war. From Kielce, Aleksander Wierzewski, Poland Daily.
Firefighters are still struggling with the huge wave of wildfires on the west coast of the United States, fueled by heat waves and windy conditions. There are fires in California, Oregon and Washington. California has been the hardest hit so far. From Los Angeles, our correspondent Małgorzata Schulz has more.
California Governor Gavin Newsom declared state of emergency. Golden State is experiencing second largest wildland fire in its history. There are several fires in different parts of the state. The largest and hardest to contain is a creek fire. There are 10 deaths so far and many injured. National Guards together with Navy saved over 200 people. They flew helicopters in extremely difficult weather conditions, rescuing campers from popular tourist location near Fresno. Hundreds of residents of Los Angeles are on a standby ready for evacuations. Our gusty winds picked up and can spread flames fast. Besides fires and hot weather, Californians are dealing with smoky air. Angelinos are receiving hazardous air pollution warnings and advised to stay home. Damages caused by 2020 Golden State fire are estimated for $820 million. For Poland Daily, Małgorzata Schulz, Los Angeles.
Los Angeles is famous for its clear skies and sunny weather, but currently the city is overshadowed by smoke. Its citizens receive warnings of polluted air and they could be evacuated at any time due to the high winds which could quickly spread the fire. This year, more than 3 million hectares of forest burned down in California, almost 100% more than in 2019. High temperatures, almost 50 degrees Celsius, and high winds are contributing to the scale of this natural disaster. A number of European countries, including France, Germany and Norway, have announced that they will take in asylum seekers from the Greek island of Lesbos after the migrants burned Europe's largest asylum centre, Moria, to the ground. The 12,000 migrants that used to live in the migrant camp are now homeless and roaming the streets of Lesbos. Most of the camp burned down yesterday, but what survived has burned down today as new fires were set. The background to the fires is the Greek authorities' decision to quarantine 30 COVID-19 positive migrants in one part of the camp, while not letting the rest of Moria's asylum seekers leave the camp and wander into surrounding towns. In response, fires were set across the camps and Greek firefighters were attacked by rock throwers as they tried to put the fires out. The migrants are now homeless and asking for aid. Many also say that it's time for them to be moved to other European countries.
My family needs clothes, maybe some place to stay with, maybe food and water. There is nothing here.
We want go to the other country.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel commented on the situation, saying that it's time to introduce a joint European asylum policy so that all member states can share the migrants between themselves. I asked the Greek Prime Minister how we can help, and his request was that we take in the minors who were taken to the Greek mainland. We have contacted France. Germany and France will participate in this. I hope several other member states will do so too. Migration is not just the problem of the countries where people arrive, and it's not just Germany's problem. We hold the European Union presidency, and it must even more so become a European responsibility. We cannot be content with a European migration policy. In fact, it does not exist. And if it stays that way, it will be a heavy burden for Europe. That's why we will use our European Union presidency to make progress here. Poland, Hungary, the Czech Republic, Austria and a number of other Central Eastern European countries have so far refused to accept any solution that involves mandatory migrant relocation quotas. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.